Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today I've got a top 10 list of cards and combos that I'm looking forward to in the Clash of Fate set that comes out 1 week from the day that this video goes live. I'm really excited for this set. I'm really excited for most theme booster sets. I'd say I'd like the smaller, more synergy-based sets more than the bigger sets, and yeah, they've always been a lot of fun. I've really liked World Martial Arts, and Tournament of Power has also been a really good set. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm thinking it's going to be just as good. So a short little qualification for this list. So one, there aren't going to be any leader cards. It's only going to be battle cards and extra cards. And then two, on each spot, there's going to either be a single card, or there's going to be kind of a small archetype or kind of engine or combo with it. I think that's kind of more fair. Instead of just having to pick one card for that kind of thing, I wanted to kind of make it kind of like a synergy that I'm really looking forward to. Like, and that's kind of why I like this game. There you can put like little subsets of synergies in your deck just to make them more consistent and add some flavor. And so that's what we're going to do today. So without a further ado, let's start off with number 10.
Number 10.
So we're going to start off with the new super rare Son Gohan. He's a 1-drop with 5k attack and an auto of when you play this card, draw 1 card. And also active main, once per turn you can pay 2 energy to get plus 15k power and critical for duration of the turn. I think this card is pretty good, and green decks kind of have been suffering for generic 1-drops, so I think that kind of fits this role. I think the only bad thing about this card is that it's a super rare. I think it would have been okay if it was like a common or an uncommon or even a rare, but having it be a super rare I think is a little bit of overkill just because it's not super good. I'd say like the best super rare 1-drop we have is Bardock, and I'd say Bardock's still probably better than this card, but this card's not too bad and kind of furthers the agenda of kind of the pay to energy, you know, the green kind of subtext of paying energy for bigger effects. So yeah, I think this card is good, and hopefully I pull enough of them to run just because it's a super rare.
Number 9.
Okay, I know there are like an obnoxious amount of cards, but this is by far the worst one where it comes to more than one card on a spot. But yeah, this kind of is like the Ginyu Force Frieza's army archetype, or as I like to call it, just good red 2-drops. And so how these work is that the 3 of the Ginyu Force 2-drops, they just say, oh, when you play this from your hand, you get to switch your top 5 for a different Ginyu Force, you can play it. One of them is the super combo, which is only good for red Frieza's army, which kind of sucks. It makes this this trio not a a quartet, I guess, but that's okay. I think these 3 are pretty splashable. And then you also have the Doria and Zarbon as well, and they all can be summoned with the new field spell. At first I didn't think this card was really good, but kind of playing around with it and seeing how other people are playing it, I've decided that it is really good. What it does is that at the end of your turn, choose up to 1 red Frieza's army with an energy cost of 2 from your hand to play it. If you played a card using this effect, draw 1 card. So turn 2, playing this, you go even on card economy, but then card and energy. But after that, you just like ramp up. So and maybe I was just too used to people being like, oh, it's a 2-turn game, but this card can be really good and kind of quick start your combo. So, and you play it from the hand, so you can get like a Raccoon, and then Raccoon plays and you get like a super combo Jace or something like that. So I think that's really good, and whatever, body change Ginyu's in here too. He's not like the worst, and he's really thematic, which I really like about cards like these. And just giving all your thing plus 10k is not too bad. I think he gives himself 10k too, which is, so he's a 25k 3-drop on summon, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I think this is a really cool kind of engine. Kind of helps if you're wanting to run mono red. I think this gives you a good opportunity to do so, and yeah, it's just fun. So that's why it's at number 9.
Number 8.
Alright, next up are the yellow Namekians. If I had to choose one of these, I'd actually say that this 1-drop Nail is the best. The fact that you can play it for free and just get on the board, which is really good for a lot of reasons. One is it just kind of helps the generic bond mechanic that came in set 4, and I think they look like they're going to be supporting it more, so that's really good. Yeah, just the fact that it comes out for free. And then additionally, for example, you can get this nail out for on turn 2 just by attacking, playing this for free, and then evolving. So I think that's really powerful. And just in general, I feel like the yellow Namekians have a little bit more pizzazz now, and I think they have some options for stuff. I chose pretty much how this works is we've got this 2-drop Piccolo. You play 3 energy, and you put a nail under him, and if your leader is Shenron, and your opponent has 3 or more cards in rest mode, you can get one of these 4-drop Namekians. I don't know why he has all these conditions. I feel like 2 of them, and he would have been just okay too, but they put all of them on him. But both of these 4-drops are really good, especially since you can choose which one you're going into. If you're going into nail, it just is a barrier double strike. And then you can also blow up something, even if it has, or not blow up something, we put something to rest, even if it has barrier, which I think is really good. And this one, if you're able to somehow put one more card underneath your yellow card, then you're able to kind of, energy lock your opponent a little bit. And also it gains barrier, which is great, and it already has double strike. So both of these kind of have the same flavor. It's just this one is more powerful at the cost of you needing one more card to put under it. So I don't think that's impossible to do, and I think once you do it, it's really strong just because you're able to, once again, switch one of your opponent's energy to rest mode for free, and or blow up something, or not blow up something, but once again, put something in rest, even if it has barrier. So getting around barrier also for 2 energy with getting a 20k double strike barrier out, I think is really good. So I think this kind of archetype works, though it sucks that it's literally kind of gated behind the yellow Shenron. But other than that, it's great.
Number 7.
All right, these are kind of like the 3-drop black Shenron Porunga blow up the field hand cards. They're both really similar. One's just a desire, and one is a battle card, but let's get into it. So the desire does is if your leader card is a black Shenron card, you choose one of your and one of your opponent's cards with barrier, or not with barrier, but have the same cost. Choose all other cards you control and your opponent's control, ignoring barrier, and all cards in hand. Shuffle everything back into the deck, and you draw 5 cards. So it's kind of like Zeno, but it's a desire. So you could play this for free with your black Shenron cards, which is really powerful, with the only stipulating cost of having something of the same energy cost on both sides of the field, which can be a little bit tricky, but and would also let your opponent play around it. So I think as time goes on, this might not be as powerful. But on the other hand, we've got the newfound power Porunga. So this card can attack. Active main switches card to rest mode. If your leader is a black Shenron, choose one. You either draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. You can choose one of your battle cards. It gains plus 10k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it just continuously gains 10k power. So if you have like a deadly defender or something like that you really want to protect, that's a good way to do it. But probably the most important one of the 3 is the choose one of your opponent's one of your and one of your opponent's cards, ignoring barrier, then choose the rest of your and your opponent's cards in battle area, ignoring barrier, and shuffle them to their owner's deck. So you just essentially you can play this on turn 3, choose it and one of your opponent's cards, probably something really weak that you can deal with. They just destroy everything, and it's really good for controlling the board and making sure that your opponent kind of goes negative for playing a lot of cards early. So I think that's really good. It's not the worst that it's stuck behind black Shenron cards. We've only got 2. We've got the actual Shenron and the Porunga card. But I really kind of like the push they're doing for Porunga to kind of have a more of a controlling kind of matchup. Shenron definitely has control. But with the Porunga cards, especially with the only difference of Porunga and Shenron being that Porunga gets a free Death Wish without having to use a card. I think that's really is good for kind of control matchups, just because you want to be able to control what cards that come out, and usually you're just controlling the game until you can get this big card that wins you the game. And the fact that you can play your big card for free without having to pay any energy for it, or have a card and then still have your energy for the rest of the turn, I think is really powerful. So I think these cards will help that deck get there, and I'm excited to see what people do with it.
Number 6.
Next up, we've got the red Frieza swap set of cards. I really do like the swap mechanic, and I kind of feel like it got a lot of hate just because of the Bardock and Goten kind of swap mechanics. And it looks like with this, it's a little bit more conservative, which is nice. And yeah, just kind of builds the idea of, oh, you're gonna slowly get advantage by not losing cards to combo with later, and you get to build your one guy into one really big guy. And I really like that. I think it's a fun idea. So, and it kind of makes sense with the whole, like, you know, evolving power of Frieza and kind of becoming more and more powerful. So overall, I think this is really great. So we've got the one drop. Doesn't really do much, to be honest. I kind of wish like it drew a card or searched for other stuff, but that's okay. It just gives 5k to one of your red leader or red battle cards for the duration of the turn. Then there's the 2-drop, which really is just a 15k beater or 10k not beater on your opponent's turn. It doesn't have barrier, which is kind of upsetting, but I understand. The fact that you can get to the 3-drop. The 3-drop I feel is like the most, is kind of like the best one. Because it does have barrier, and also when you play it, you get to destroy one card with 20k power or less, which is really powerful, especially just because you can play it for 2 energy. So I really like that, and I really could see you kind of swapping this back just so you can play, go back into it just for the reusing the idea of KOing stuff. And then finally we've got the 5-drop. Which is it's a critical double strike, which is powerful with a 25k body. And then once per turn, when your opponent declares to play a battle card or activates a skill that puts a battle card into play, if your leader is a red Frieza's army card, you choose one card from your life, place the drop area. If you do, the battle card is played with skill negated for the duration of the turn, can be activated at counter timing. So pretty much he's just a walk and talking cold bloodlust, which I think is really neat. It sucks that he doesn't have barrier. It sucks that he is like a really good control thing, but he also, the fact that he takes life to activate kind of sucks. I feel like, I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about the 5-drop. I think he's good, and I think he'll see play. I wish he was a little bit better of a finisher, or that he had a chance to get into something a little bit bigger. This doesn't feel like the final showdown. This just feels like, I feel like they should have done 5 cards, not just going to 4. But nonetheless, I think it's a really cool chain. The fact that it's also stuck behind a red Frieza's army kind of sucks, but it's all right because I kind of like the red Frieza army leader. But other than that, I really do like this chain in general, and I've been playing a lot. So yeah, I think it's good.
Number 5.
A yellow 0-drop that finds something for... Oh, wait. A yellow 0-drop that searches a card. Sign me up. This card is great. I guess they really do like the 0-cost yellow cards, but yeah, this is, I think, one of the best Namekian supports we've gone like ever. The fact that it lets you choose up to 1 green or yellow Namekian card with energy cost 2 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. I think that's really cool. It's so a couple of quick gripes with this card. One, let's see. So because of that, they decided to make Guru a 3-drop super combo. So like, oh, you can't use Assimilate to find a super combo because that'd be lame. But like, on the other hand, one, he only works for the Wish Leader because it's a yellow Namekian and there's only one. But you can still use it for the 2-drop Silent Namekian Duo one, which is specifically a green Namekian. But there are a couple green Namekian leaders, so I guess that's not energy cost. I'm just gonna type in Namek right here. But yeah, it's really good, and you're able to find just a bunch of cards. From the green side, you're able to find a super combo, and any of these, especially like Nail, is a really good one to find. And on the yellow side, we're also able to find these guys. I think it's 2 or less though, right? Yeah, 2 or less. So you can also get the 1-drops, which includes this Nail, which once again I was already claiming was one of the best. So being able to run 8 of them in one deck is really good. Cargo and Wishmaker Dende are also really good, especially since if you're running the yellow, what is it? The yellow Wish Leader, either one of them really. This is really good. And then also on the green side, is there anything? I guess you could find the other Dende, and you can search for Namekians off the top 3 or Guru or whatever. But it just lets you find a lot of good cards and just helps you kind of start your early game, which I think is really good. So just in general, search cards are really good in this game, in any game really, especially 0-cost ones. And it doesn't matter too much that it's for a Namekian with energy cost 2 or less, because you want those cards anyways. You can get a super combo if you're playing the right deck, and you can start the game out right if you're running these. So very, very good card.
Number 4.
We've got the new green extra card, Preemptive Strike. When this was first revealed, it got kind of a lot of hype. We don't have a lot of counterplay cards that do stuff. So this is definitely one of the good ones, especially comparing to Cold Bloodlust. It kind of is the same vein, but costs 1 more energy and it's green. But you put the card to their drop area instead of just negating their skill. So that's really cool, but then it's like an energy cost of 4 or less, which can be kind of iffy, but just in general, I think it's really good. Kind of is promoting this new green kind of style of kind of being more defensive and having a lot of counterplay to it. So I really like that. And yeah, just the fact that, your opponent can play something that costs 3 energy and then you play this and they get rid of it, especially since this does get around barrier. It does not get around deflect, but that's okay. I think this card is good and probably one of the best green cards released in a while. It's just generic green support, which is also really good. They could have put this behind some kind of fancy tag, but they just said if your leader's green, you can play this card, which I think is great for like androids and other cards, green leader cards, either already released or to come. So very, very excited to see how this card works out.
Number 3.
All right, here we got the secret rare. If you haven't already seen my video, this card's super good. By the time this video is released, there's probably a better quality image of it, but whatever, we're gonna take this one. It's a quadruple strike, permanent if you have 2 or less life. That gets down to just a 5 specific red energy cost, and then when you play this card, your opponent discards 1 card, and then you blow up all their cards that don't have barrier, or do not have barrier. And yeah, it's just really good. It's a really good finisher. It's not for any like Frieza clan or any specific tags. It's just you have to have 5 red energy. So I think this card is really good. Yeah, I think that it will give like alternative win conditions, or even win conditions to just mono red decks, which I feel might be lacking at this moment, or just can sometimes fizzle out because they don't have a win condition. This can definitely bring one to them. So very excited for this card.
Number 2.
Okay, now we have the Let's Kill Krillin kind of cards. And yeah, it's mostly just the power of this guy. When looking at this first, I'm like, oh, geez, he just blows up something, comes out for free. And I didn't really realize how big of an impact that would be until I kind of looked at the Krillins. So once again, so this card, when a Krillin with an energy cost of 4 or more in your battle area is KO'd by your opponent, if your leader card is green or black, which is, I think, a lot of diversity for leaders that can run these cards, but play this card from your hand and you can't play Final Showdown Son Goku for duration of the turn. When you play this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So really powerful, especially it pretty much gives your 4-drop revenge, or it gives your Krillins like 4-drop revenge, and can just kind of blow up something, especially since it gets around barrier, which is kind of rare, and I think is really powerful at this moment. It can just blow up a lot of things, especially if your opponent is trying to go in with like a Shenron, like a triple attack card. Then instead of being able to attack all those 3 times, they attack into Krillin. You just summon Goku and then you blow him up, and they're like, oh cool, I lost. So I think that's really cool. And the 2 Krillins that are associated with this are also really powerful, just because they kind of benefit from this kind of defensive playstyle. There's the Persistent Assault Krillin, barrier. When you play this card, draw 1 card. If your leader card is green or black and this card is in rest mode, your opponent can attack leader card. So it's got the Deadly Defender, and you get a draw card. The only downside is it's turn 4 instead of turn 3, but I think that's fine. Also, both of these cards, there's the 2-drop Gohan that reduces their specific energy by 1. So I think that's really good. So you can get these out, play Gohan on 2, and then play these guys on turn 3. So that's really powerful. And then the Fledgling Duo Krillin. When you play this card, it's blocker, and then when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And so it's more of so this card, there's kind of like pros and cons for both these ideas. This one is just an absolute defense, but they can be attack if they kind of structure their attacks correctly, then they can like attack with one thing and then it doesn't kill Krillin, so they play another thing, and essentially they don't waste a card being blown up or a card that hasn't attacked by being blown up. On the other side, there's this guy, and so you can decide when you block one of their attacks, and then you can decide when you want to blow up something. So I think that's also really good. Just once again, really powerful. Just because the archetype is also, you only need to have a green or black leader. So I think there's really a lot of diversity in that as well, especially with like Shenron and Porunga decks. Those are always really, really good. So these are, I'm going to probably make a lot of decks with these 3 cards in them. So look forward to that.
Number 1.
Oh man, what a surprise, everyone says. Oh look, I don't think I put a single blue card on this list until these guys, so of course they must be the best cards in the set. Truthfully, I was just going to put Goku on this one, and I had Borgro, so I thought I had him on like spot like 6 or 7, and then I realized while recording that I didn't, so here he is. He's good, he's a good card. Mostly Goku, but both these cards are just really defensive, and just kind of put the idea, it's kind of like the final bullet of where like, okay, we get it. This game is being ramped up because a lot of 1 and 2 energy cost cards are just swarming the field and attacking. Oh, wouldn't it be great if there was a card that stopped them from attacking that also was really hard to get rid of? So they made it in the Bandai way. But yeah, I think this card is super good, and just makes a lot of decks more viable. Just decks that don't want to win on turn 2 or 3, that also happen to be running some blue, they can run this card and just be honky-dory. I think that's really good. And additionally, Borgos, I guess that's how you say it. When you play this card, draw 1 card, great. And then during your opponent's turn, if your opponent switches their energy to active mode using a non-awakened skill, you choose up 1 of their energy and place in their owner's drop area. I think this card's really good, and it looks like with next set they're making a yellow Whis with the same idea. So I think those are good. I wish it was like a black card, and it could have been more universally out there, especially like considering they made that the 1-drop Goku that like stops flute effects, which is great. They made the Silver Bullet like half a year later, so I wish those 2 would have been swapped, but that's okay. We've got it for blue, the most important color, and we've got an anti-aggro tool, and I think this card's really good, and you can tell because like 5 months ago I made a theory craft like, oh, what if there was a card that stopped cards with certain energy costs from attacking, and you guys downvoted it to hell. So I don't know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, this is this is my list. Let me know what you liked and you didn't like. I know I didn't put any of the Bardock's crew. I almost put them at 10, but I really like that Gohan, so they went to spot 11 if that spot existed. But yeah, tell me what cards you think I got right. Tell me which cards that you think I got wrong. Comment and like and subscribe and comment and like, and I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for making it all the way through. I bet it was a bit of a haul for you, but thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.